I was disappointed with the EU referendum result. It wasn't what I'd wanted and what the other young people had wanted, uh, and I felt that the voting age should have been lowered in that case. They were issues that are going to affect us in the future. We would be the generation living with Brexit, in a sense, and so I felt we should have had more of a say in it.
Obviously, I didn't have a vote about whether we left the EU or not, but one of the things that really worried me about the potential to leave was about losing the opportunities to work and study abroad.
I feel that for students it's more important than ever to have an international perspective and international experience. Since I've moved here, I've met people from all over the world. I've made friends with people from the Netherlands, from Australia, from America, from Colombia.
So although I've only been here for about 6 weeks, I've already met people from all over Europe, students from France, Germany, Italy, Slovakia, Sweden,
So
Belgium.
have so many students from outside the UK to come to our universities. This might not seem like such a big issue for people in London or Manchester or Birmingham, but for places like Swansea, it really helps improve diversity.
I've met some of my best friends to this day on the Erasmus programme that are scattered all over the world now. But I guess the biggest is that I met my husband in Alicante. And 13 years later, we are happily married. And thanks to Erasmus. We now have a little boy who's 19 months old. And he's relishing having all these different languages thrown at him, and he responds to Spanish, Italian, English, and we're trying to bring him up as trilingually as we can. True little Erasmus baby.
I think for young people, any situation in which you're living away from home for extended periods of time is really valuable, because it pushes you out of your comfort zone and it helps you mature and make that transition to adulthood.
Being a part of the Erasmus programme showed me that there is so much more to the world.
That it really opens your mind to the idea of working or studying abroad again, and it allows you to view your own country, your own upbringing, your own culture with a different lens.
To see the world in a different way, in a different light, from a different country.
It's just your general understanding of how other countries work.
There's this word in French called flâner, which basically means to wander and to contemplate life. It's a very French word, and I did a lot of that.
I was also able to partake in classes that were otherwise not necessarily off limits to me, but not part of my programme.
I did classes that I wouldn't have really had the opportunity to do here. So for example, I did a class that looked at the relationship with politics and football.
Erasmus helps out financially, and most students aren't in a position where they could fund themselves for this kind of trip.
Thankfully, the Erasmus programme gave me a grant, not a loan, of approximately €1,200. This really made the difference. If it hadn't been for this, undoubtedly I wouldn't be able to go. And equally,
the EU made it all possible. I come from a very working class background. I don't think I would have been able to, like I said earlier, afford to go to New York and do the programme without the EU's help, without the EU funding.
It feels like such a cliche to say so, but Erasmus really did change my life. I honestly believe that everything I do in my life now, I would not be doing if it were not for this incredible European success story.
I believe that Erasmus is such an amazing programme that can give people so many opportunities, whether it's professional, personal, or educational.
I would highly recommend the Erasmus programme to anyone, and I honestly think it's tragic that there's the potential for the current generation and indeed future generations to be deprived of such a formative experience.
It is such a shame that this programme may well be on the Brexit negotiating table, possibly meaning that UK-based students and students wishing to come to the UK will not be able to participate in Erasmus Plus mobility projects.
I think it's really sad that post-Brexit we are having these debates, whether to save Erasmus or not, because I just can't see any disadvantages from anyone taking part in it, so we must do all we can to to save it?
I really believe it's the best cause. Basically, can get very, very bogged down with money and possessions, but really in life, the best things are experiences and memories, and that's why Erasmus is such a worthwhile and worthy cause, and it's worth fighting for.
The Erasmus program has been a fundamental part of university life for years. Many would consider participation a right, but in our complacency, it's become all too apparent what a great privilege we might be about to lose. With Brexit casting long shadows over the UK, it feels as if the prospects for young people in this country are being rapidly eroded. It's frustrating to deal with the consequences of decisions decided and dictated by an aging population with no stake in the future they're creating. The train we're on isn't stopping anytime soon, but with enough backing, we can improve the destination, or at least get a nice view as we travel. I desperately hope we can find a way to save Erasmus, and I urge you to support this cause.